I wrote my second part about a quote that is really inspiring to me. It's by Elie Wiesel, a famous Holocaust survivor. He wrote Night. And it goes, it's part of a larger quote, but the part that I always think about is the opposite of life is not death, it's indifference. And I love this quote because a lot of the times, well, I loved this quote particularly 2 years ago when I studied abroad in Spain. And I thought about it all the time when I was studying abroad because once you're so far removed from the bubble that you live in, you know, as a student, you get kind of like encapsulated in this bubble of like my life revolves around my homework, my life revolves around like a 5-mile square block that I don't leave hardly ever. But then once you get out of that bubble and you start thinking about, well, I would really love to do this, or I totally, you know, maybe would want to dedicate my life to something totally out there, you know, risk kind of reaching for your dreams. I think that you realize how indifferent sometimes you can really be in your daily schedule. You can really get caught up in the things that on a grand scale don't really matter. And kind of experiencing that for the first time when I studied abroad. I mean, I was only in Spain for 2 months, but that was enough to really want to try and stay out of the bubble as long as possible. So after I came back to finish the next 2 years of school, I pretty much promised myself that after that I was going to try something. I wanted to do that again, have that same like exhilarating feeling of half being completely scared out of my mind and intimidated, and half just complete adrenaline rush, doing something I love and doing something totally new. So I applied for a program to teach in Spain all next year, and I'll be teaching English. So I'm really excited. I find out about that. As it gets kind of closer and closer, the possibility of me actually leaving for a year and being completely somewhere else, where I know the language but I'm not fluent, you know, and just the possibility of actually achieving one of the dreams that I've had for years, I think is really exciting. And I always think of that quote, how you shouldn't lead your life in indifference.